Welcome back to Improvision Entertainment. My name is Huntermun, and this is Euro Truck Simulator 2, and we are about to get back into it with more special delivery. We are going Plymouth to Dover, taking a giant tech part. Don't think we've done this before. However, for the purposes of conversation, unless nobody chimes in on the stream, I'm going to be continuing my list of worst to best Assassin's Creeds. Okay, you already know what's at the top slot, okay? But we just went over Assassin's Creed Revelations, and now I'm going to be talking about the next game. Now, actually, hold on. When did Assassin's Creed Origins come out?
Assassin's Creed Origins was published October 27th, 2017.
And it's 2021. The reason that that's relevant, in case you've missed it previously, is that by and large, I try and maintain everybody on Improvision Entertainment has a rule of 3 years talking about spoilers and stuff, unless they, give very, very heavy indications to people that that's going to be a thing.
Drive safe.
Okay, where am I going? I'm going out this entrance. Alright, now I have to think about this. I want to line up with this, and then I want to turn sideways. And then I want to probably keep third-person view as I try and make this work. Jesus, it's almost as big as the exit. Oh wait, shit, I'm in Great Britain. That means I gotta aim at the left side of the road, don't I? No. I think I'm clear. Heavy cargoes are trouble.
Right.
They're just pure trouble. I am not going to bother not traveling up the middle of the road. I think that's my plan. I don't think it's possible for me to do anything but take up all the lanes. Okay. So. Now you might be saying to yourself, okay, so 3-year rule comes into play. No spoilers, if possible, things that came out within 3 years. But it is currently, as I am talking to you, the last day of March 2021. And Assassin's Creed Origins came out in the end of 2017. So that is 3 years and like 6 months, but still 3 years. So, I don't have as much negative to say about the overall game, but here's the deal. I'm talking about overall. What games are the best and worst overall? And Assassin's Creed Origins, let me heap some praise on it right quick. It might have the best story in the entire Assassin's Creed continuity. Of all the games I've played, I don't think there's as good of development of primary and secondary characters, motivations, actually interesting twists and turns as far as the plot goes, and like what people are doing, like, who's betraying who and stuff like that. Like, overall, and the plot structure of the game for being able to execute on things it's very good. And the core gameplay is the moment to moment is pretty good, but here's the deal. Please keep cargo between the escort vehicles? Oh, you just want me to be slightly to the left? I mean, I can do that, but like, what if people try to go around me? That's crazy talk. Alright. Oh, luckily it's only 48 through here. Okay. But the gameplay is the problem. Assassin's Creed Origins has the greatest discrepancy between the quality of one aspect, which is the story, that being the story itself, the interactions, the characters, the plot, the location, all that stuff. The story, and the gameplay. And the gameplay is dog shit. It is terrible. And the main reason that it's terrible is because Ubisoft put into place a a leveling system. They put in RPG nonsense. And I like RPGs. I like third-person RPGs. I like action RPGs. I like a lot of kinds of RPGs at this point. But the thing about doing it in Assassin's Creed is, one, once you've made it so that bad guys in certain areas of the world are higher or lower level than you, and that they get you experience points, you've made it so that you can't just go anywhere in the game world. In previous Assassin's Creeds up to this point, which is what, 13 games? Something like that. Up to this point, I can speed up even further. There's literally a car trying to pass me. What kind of stupid crap? Some people, right? Some people. Good luck, buddy. Don't just slow up and then come to a stop. That'd be really annoying. Okay. Okay, alright. Let me boil it down to the most specific way that it fucks everything up. Because everybody is of levels, because you're of levels, and you can get leveled up and they can be higher level, and okay. Because of all that, a core mechanic of the Assassin's Creed games, the Hidden Blade, or the assassination option. The assassination option allows you to just, if you're sneaking up on somebody, freaking stab them, and they die. Since the first game. You might be thinking to yourself, yeah, Hunterman, it's Assassin's Creed. You're supposed to be able to do that. Yeah. But in Assassin's Creed Origins, and to some extent also in Odyssey, but in Assassin's Creed Origins specifically, there are plenty of times in the game in which when you go to, from stealth, assassination on somebody, you simply do an amount of damage. For guys that are really high level above you, marked as like hunters or whatever they're called, I don't remember, mercenaries or something that are coming after to get you, you can do, I don't even remember, I think it's like a third of a life bar. But for guys who are like 1, 2 levels above you, in Assassin's Creed Origins, you can stab them with assassinating, you can assassinate them, and they will still walk away with a couple of hit points. And obviously, if you attack somebody from stealth, and you don't kill them outright, you can't hide them away, and they call out and yell out for all nearby guards to come and deal with you. And it basically makes the game completely unplayable from the standpoint of being an assassin. Which is, you know, the point, is to play an Assassin's Creed game. And, everything derives from that. Assassin's Creed Origin holds the title of the only Assassin's Creed game that I have played in which I have not achieved every single, vantage point in the entire game. What lane are you changing? Okay. Am I taking a turn? Oh, I am taking a turn. Oh no, probably got guardrails coming up ahead. Because there are... Okay, actually, now that I'm remembering, here's another thing that's wrong with the way the game plays. There is literally... It's a giant world map, right? Lots of it's desert, but it's got really interesting, well done, like, locales as far as, like, the pyramids and the cities. They're all very nice and pretty. There's a lot of stuff that Origins actually does right, but that it just is utterly destroyed by how bad the gameplay is. And part of how bad the gameplay is when you finish the main plot of the game, as giant as the world map is, you've easily not been ever given any reason to go to a third of it. And I don't mean like in an Odyssey sense of, yeah, the game world's so big and there's stuff everywhere for you to do and you can pick your own location and what direction you want to go to do stuff in that sort of way. No. I mean like The game has a fairly linear plot, and it takes you through a lot of the world map, but then at the end, there's like a third of it that you just aren't ever taken to. And part of that third that you're not taken to is, I believe, DLC, that obviously is DLC, it's not included in the game, but also, and I'm not saying like the locations are DLC. The locations exist. They're big, they're open, they're empty deserts. I found some unique Easter technology or locations that was kind of interesting to look at, but I, besides my going out and trying to find out what was there, was never given a reason to get there. And then if you happen to run across one or two guards, their levels skull to you, so don't. They'll just kill you. Because levels. Levels ruin the whole game. Not given a reason to go to places. Like, I wasn't interested in running around in high-level zones that were bigger than me for the purposes of going across land that both wasn't that interesting to traverse because it's mostly desert, and also because it's filled with high-level guys who at any moment might just show up and gank me. This feels like not goodness that's about to happen. I might need to slow up here. Yes, I'm back to Euro Truck Simulator is happening. But there's narrow passageways with like, bro, okay, hi. Did speed limit drop down? Why did you stop? No explanation. I don't know why the hell that guy slowed up. Just so much space in the game world map, just not utilized, and not with a reason for you to go there. And I'm guessing, I don't know for certain, but I'm guessing that those are places that are off in DLC. I don't actually know that that is the case, but I think it's the case. But even so, it also implies that they had the ability to put in more stuff. Oh, that's a bus, everybody. We're going to have a problem in a second here. Surprised they did not beam the shit out of that bus. Just being perfectly honest. Okay. I'm being totally honest. Like, it's, if the game world existed, why didn't you do anything with it? Why didn't you put anything there? And if you were planning on doing it in the DLC or in content that became DLC, that's not good. I can't. The leveling is so bad. I seem to recall there being a problem with the skill tree system, but it's not really coming to me, and I think I've said my piece. My issues with Assassin's Creed Origins is primarily one of just sloggingly bad, aggravating gameplay. Like, it wouldn't be as bad if it was like a grind or something like that, but it's like guys a couple of levels above you just show up so much stronger than you and take you out. And again, like I said, you can't just press a button and assassinate someone like you can in literally every game in the series up to that point, because sometimes they just have more stats than you do because RPG mechanics. And I'm not gonna lie, those RPG mechanics were there to introduce not only a grind, but a set of loot droppings that were there to encourage people to buy microtransactions. And I'm not going to speak much to that, if only because I never felt like the game ever leaned on me or otherwise enticed me to pick up its moneyed stuff for microtransactions. I'm thinking, well, I don't know why I didn't hit that sign. I totally thought I was going to hit that sign. But still, the microtransactions existed, and that is why they existed, and as a result, they made the entire rest of the game bad. Like, as good as the story is, as well developed and interesting the characters are, and the way they presented the Easter technology and all that stuff, what really just sunk... Like, okay, if you've ever played Breath of the Wild, and you didn't like it, and the main reason you didn't like it was because there was weapon degradation, and it just ruined the entire game for you, that you were constantly breaking weapons and you had to pull out new stuff. Didn't do it for me, but I know that's a lot for a lot of people. A lot of people don't like that stuff. That might be, and I will acknowledge this, might be what I'm going through with Assassin's Creed Origins. But to be clear, I'm not trying to second guess myself. This is my list. And it's number 2, second worst Assassin's Creed overall. How much time I got left in this trip? Oh, I got so much time left in this trip. Oh no, is this the big... No, this isn't the big 2-lane road. Well, alright. How you doing, everybody? That didn't take that long to go through. It took a lot less time than Revelations. Revelations is the worst one. It's all uphill from here. Okay. Second from the bottom, through no real fault of its own. Not exactly a core Assassin's Creed game, but I have played it, so I will have an opinion on it. Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles. Altair's Chronicles is a PSP sequel to Assassin's Creed 1, which I think came out the same day as Assassin's Creed 2? That may not be right. Don't hold me to that part. That part might be wrong. But it is a sequel directly to Assassin's Creed 1. And kind of like with Origins, its main problems are the way its gameplay works because of it being on a PSP, where you're trying to cram down, controls that were on a 360 and a PlayStation 3 and make them work on a PlayStation handheld. If nothing else, please keep in mind that the PSP as a game console didn't have a second analog stick. So it had this weird hold a shoulder button and then press each of the face buttons on the right side of the controller for being able to turn your camera left, right, up, and down. And it would be really nice if there was a way in emulation, I'm just saying perhaps, to bind those motions to the other analog stick so that you could just do them that way. But sadly, it does make it kind of cumbersome to control. It is kind of a stripped down Assassin's Creed 1, and yeah, its main problem is the way the gameplay plays out. The story is okay. For a PSP game, for not being that long, for not being that deep, the gameplay is fairly samey. See, I just don't believe that this vehicle can make these turns that it's making. Or rather, because there's so much traffic here. I'm glad I got this caution car here thing, because I kept thinking to myself, I'm traveling on the wrong side of the road. Speed cameras. Speed cameras. Fucking A. In any event. Its location and its setup is pretty interesting. It picks up right where Assassin's Creed 1 leaves off. The one of 2 female main characters of Assassin's Creed 1, or not main characters, important characters? One of the only 2 female and important characters of Assassin's Creed 1 is largely your antagonist in the game, but is a Templar who you basically bring around to your way of thinking and seeing what is the purpose of the order. And, you guessed it, ends up being Altair's love interest by the end, or at least the woman who he would spend enough time with that they would sire a child. There's a big world-ending piece of Eden. Unfortunately, it's like I have trouble remembering it. And, I made this list up last night. And, I don't know, some of these games I definitely want to revisit. I do wish Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles had trophies. Would be nice. I think it is a game that could deserve a port, because a lot of what I think is wrong with the game could be fixed by resolution, texture, and definitely controls, as far as like how the camera works and how the lock-on system works. It could certainly be saved by some polish. I should probably look up on like romhacking.net if anybody has done any Revelations, if anybody has done anything to the game. In character, we still have like 3 hours left in this road trip. I would not want to be these vehicles on the right side of the road right now, I'm telling you what. I don't like being this vehicle in the middle of the road right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Everybody knows what I'm saying. I don't know if anybody's trying to pass me on the left, but I really hope not. I think we must be going uphill because I am losing speed. The cutscenes are pretty good. And Altair is actually brown in this game, like he should be. In case you didn't know, in Assassin's Creed 1, all of the segments in which you're playing as Altair, the face model that they have for the character, they actually used Desmond Miles' polygons and his face texture. So he looks exactly like Desmond, and he's a white guy, but he's decidedly Middle Eastern in Altair's Chronicles. And he's got, I believe, I'm just going to dare say, more of a Middle Eastern accent, which is a little jarring, having played Assassin's Creed 1, just from one character, like one game to the next. But probably fits him better, I will say.
Go straight on.
I am losing speed again. Is this uphill or is this straight ahead? Let's see if we can get back up to speed. Kind of short. Kind of short overall. But, you know, PSP game. Okay. I got nothing. Moving on. Ah. A game that is low on the list, not for any few particular reasons, but primarily because I don't really remember it.
And then continue straight on.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Assassin's Creed Syndicate way down here.
Go straight
Fourth from the bottom of my list. Because it was so close to the modern time, they couldn't do a lot of the more outlandish stuff with the NPCs because, you know, they have this thing going on where they don't want to do where you can get into like slander and libel situations if you make up fictional stories about people whose descendants still are alive by like a certain number of generations. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate is, I believe, the most recent historically game in the series. Its setting is London. Again, a little bit of yawn. Kind of tired of all the, you know, European locations. But it's Europe. Your organization is out of like a train. You've got a little bit too much Batman Arkham, which I'm going to consider a negative. Because you've got like this gadget that can shoot you to the roofs or shoot you across the roofs, and what it's supposed to do is give you even more mobility, but for me personally it feels like it's out of place with the parkour that has been the Assassin's Creed series up to that point. Maybe if they put it onto a character who didn't move around the standard Assassin's way, like maybe they were hobbled and so that their feet or their arms were not as mobile, or maybe they were missing an arm or a leg or something like that, and so while their ground movement would be slowed, their like gadget movement would be faster. Like that would have been interesting, but just putting it on the characters made it so that you basically did that a lot rather than the parkour, and it felt a little bit out of place. You play as two characters because of the backlash of the game before it, in which Ubisoft was noted as saying you could not play as a female in the multiplayer because modeling women is hard. I'm not even kidding. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I'm not kidding. That's what Ubisoft said. And so, in the game, instead of playing as an Assassin's character, You're playing as two Assassin's characters. You're playing as Jacob and Evie Fry, brother and sisters. And I believe I like them. I did play most of the entire game with Evie. But importantly, when they did a game like this, they actually made it so that there are missions specific to either of the Fry siblings, which is a good call. So I did like that. They also have slightly different level progressioning screens as far as how they level up. I remember the bad guy of the game. And let's just take a moment to acknowledge that Assassin's Creed is a series that continues to surprise with how universally bad basically every single boss fight ever is in the whole series. Like, it's a series made of terrible boss fights. Whenever they decide to have a boss fight, it's terrible. Except for one time. I'm just going to put this out there because it's related to Assassin's Creed 3, which again is my favorite overall game, so we'll get to that. But I won't say a lot about it at the point because I've already said so much. But not in Assassin's Creed 3, to be clear, but in Assassin's Creed 3's DLC, The Tyranny of King Washington, which is kind of a alternate history what if, but not exactly a what if. If basically George Washington got affected by Piece of Eden and decided to become the King of America.
Go straight on.
Like, all the boss fights you have to do in that game are kind of pieced so that you're learning a particular fighting style of how you're dealing with a particular boss. And then when you get it to the end of the game and have to deal with the final boss, you're dealing with a situation in which you are dealing with all of the pieces of that boss fight, but all together in one. It's really good. It's really good. Tyranny of King Washington is some of the best content in the Assassin's Creed series, in my opinion. And it was DLC, so good on it. I'm not going to be grading the DLC, though, in this big list, because I haven't played most of the DLC of Assassin's Creed, actually. That's pretty much the one hole in my repertoire of knowledge, excluding Ragnarok. Alright, this says we got less than 2 hours left, and 138 kilometers. I'm glad I came up with something to talk about, but I am sorry it's Assassin's Creed if it's not your thing. If you have an opinion on what I've been saying about these various Assassin's Creeds, then feel free to speak up in the chat, or comment down below if you're watching later on YouTube. Having said that, doopy-doopy-doo. Let's see. But, another positive. Syndicate does have one of the cooler Animus fuck-ups in the series. There is a point in the game, and we're talking about it, so guys, spoilers. I mean, this is kind of a cool thing if you're ever thinking about playing through Syndicate. There is a point in the game at which you get to participate as... Hold on. I can't see if my lights are on. Okay, they are. Actually, I feel like I should probably go in-car for this. Oh man, it got dark while I was in... Oh shit, I can't see! Ah! I'm gonna put the what? Oh no, I didn't realize I'm driving on the wrong side of the truck. I haven't been in cab this whole time. Hey, do you mind if I turn on my high beams? Man, this is gonna make me focus. You end up climbing, I believe, the Eiffel Tower while Paris is under attack in one of the World Wars. I think it's World War II, during an Animus bleed-through section. that is like your server's gotten, like, your situation's gotten corrupt and you're now experiencing this. Again, the game's story is part of the reason it's down here in the list as far as that I just don't remember what happens. And I don't remember how you get to that point, but it's really cool. All of those bleed through things where the Animus fucks up and starts putting in stuff from the wrong time period, do more of that, Ubisoft. That's good. I don't remember the gear. You are building a gang in the game as opposed to a brotherhood. And that can have some interesting gameplay to it, just like the brotherhood stuff does. But yeah, I'm losing the thread on this one. I think that's a bridge. Hold on. Okay. After that, and this is when we start getting to the point where the majority of the Assassin's Creed games are pretty good. But the last one to bridge that gap is going to be Assassin's Creed 1. And you may have heard, if you've been listening to this playlist, that I recommended to Alex, who comes into the chat a bunch of times, to, if he feels like going back far enough, definitely consider playing Assassin's Creed 1. It's kind of hard to play it if you're only on computer or, If you're only on computer or PlayStation. It's really easy to play if you're on Xbox, though, because it is backwards compatible on Xbox One and Xbox Series. And not only that, but if you're playing on a Xbox One X or a Series X, you'll get the Xbox One X Enhanced version, which is 60 FPS and 4K visuals. So it's real nice. So, also it's the only version of the game, including the PC version. It's the only version of the game that has achievements. Having said all that, Assassin's Creed 1's biggest fault, really, is that it's the first in the series and that it's really old at this point. And that's not really a fault of its own, but basically everything that's wrong with the game is that it was kind of the first of its kind. It was kind of the first one of what it was doing, and because of that, some things are decidedly jank compared to later games in the series that would iterate on the same situation. I keep expecting this guy to hit his brakes or otherwise have a speed limit change. I'm not sure why I can see so much of the skyline still. I'm listed as being... Oh, here comes a vehicle. I swear I'm going to drive straight into somebody. Can't believe I got the 3 consecutive no damage things, even though I smashed into stuff. I didn't reload, you guys saw it. But in any event, Assassin's Creed 1's story is pretty basic. It begins by you having this upstart whose name is Altair. He is basically a high-class assassin, but he disobeys all 3 tenets of the Assassin's Creed, the titular Assassin's Creed. Wait, what? That's not what you meant. I almost literally drove straight there. Which I probably would have gotten a fine from that cop. Oh no, now I gotta get back up to speed. She said go straight on. She meant don't take a left. But I almost literally just drove, like right there, where she says go straight on, I almost just drove straight. Channel Tunnel. Passing it. Went through it earlier. Trying to get myself back up to speed. Okay. Like, basically each one of the kind of sort of chapters of the game are about you gathering the information about somebody you need to assassinate. He's changing lanes somewhere? Well, everybody, we knew that had to happen at some point. I got people, like, driving into me and shit now? Okay, hold on. I will check my damage in a second. I imagine it's pretty hefty. I love how much traffic got backed up, though. It's hilarious. That was bound to happen. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's go in cab for a second so I can see my RPM so I can get back up to speed again so we can have a bigger wreck. While I'm doing that, let me press this button. 4 cargo damage. 29 damage to the trailer. That, I believe that's a record. I believe that's a record for me, how much damage to one part of this whole situation, the trailer in this case. I hear grumbling as I'm driving. That's new. But I mean, you saw how much space I had to go. My only real option was to slow down? I guess that's pretty much the only option I had, was to slow down and try and thread the needle. But, yeah, the truck on the right side wasn't getting over any further. And, that's what happened. So that'll be a lawsuit later. Luckily not my lawsuit. Generally speaking, you are not individually liable for, stuff like that when you're working for a company. And I'm contracting out, so not even my company is going to get in trouble for that. I don't know if I don't think I can physically see any damage. I do have a vehicle behind me on my right side who wants to go by, and that's too bad for them, really. 17 kilometers left. I assume that we have a decrease in speed limit? Yes. Oh shit, what's happened? What's happened? I think I'm up a hill? I'm like over a guardrail or something. Yeah, look at me. I'm being forced onto a hill. We're gonna give this a little bit of a rocking motion situation. I may legit be too damaged to drive. I don't think I'm going anywhere, guys. What button do I press? Tow service? You can't call for an assistance during a special transport mission? Alright, smartass. What am I supposed to do? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Is this a reload situation? Like, I'm forced up onto a hill. I can't do anything with... What if I detach the trailer? Watch out, you're moving dangerously close to the rear escort. You funny. What the fuck? Maybe I should drive forward and fail? Yeah, let's just try and, like, drive forward and fail. If I can even get the hell out of here. Wonder if I can reattach from the other side over here. This is very interesting. I'm gonna definitely keep all this in. This is shenanigans right now. Alright, let's see. What exactly happened? I didn't jackknife. Yeah, this shit is stuck. Alright, guys. Reload me from checkpoint, guys. I'm in the wrong lane. I'm going past you. No, I'm going past you. Where are you going? We're leaving the cargo. What are you doing? Can you not see that we're leaving the cargo? You've driven away from escort vehicles. Load checkpoint. As long as it doesn't load me onto the hill. Same difference. Huh. So what happened?
Let's do this.
Like, what happened? To be clear, I hit that on purpose. I figure if I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna need to get... Oh, now I'm getting tired? What the fuck, game? How dare you? Okay. Maybe I keep attaching, detaching. We're having a fun time, I hope. Oh, have I actually gotten the truck stuff? No. Oh. But I'm not quite aligned to be able to hook up. I'm having tire glitches going on over here. Okay, I may have gotten it. Okay. I think I'm getting it. If you're thinking this is silly and I should have given up, oh, you're right. But it's silly, so I hope it's entertaining. Never give up. Never surrender. Alright. On the road again, question mark? Am I hung on anything? Alright. I'm gonna leave that windshield wiper on. It fits. Character is super tired, gonna start getting fines for tiredness. We have 5 degrees of damage on the cargo. I'm basically going to drive up the middle lane. Because I'm sick of this bullshit. You know what? Fuck it. High beams are on. Let's go. I can hear the truck struggling. Anyway, Assassin's Creed is old. That's what I'm saying. From the way the guard AI sees you, from the fact that guards don't appear. I don't think guards are on the minimap at all. Some people are guards. Oh. Some people who are guards are guarding specific areas, but those areas are not denoted on the minimap like they are in later games. Like, Assassin's Creed, for me, is something that absolutely screams remake. And you could do it quite simply, because what you could do is, you could retell the story of Assassin's Creed 1, which a lot of people are missing out on, because they don't have access to it, because it's kind of simple, what have you. And I've always been saying, since Origins came out, and especially after Odyssey came out, that what you should do is you should take Odyssey's engine, or possibly Ragnarok's engine, like I've said previously. I haven't played Ragnarok yet. And you should make it so that basically Assassin's Creed 1 is like your opening starting island type situation in Odyssey, because that's about how thick the story is. Like, do that, right? Have time go by, then you can traipse into Altier's Chronicles, basically do a remake of that inside of this remake, and all the while you're doing it, you can litter it with some of the cool shit that's come up in Assassin's Creed later, and really try and sell people. Give people the opportunity to re-evaluate the overarching narrative of Assassin's Creed and how it actually was supposed to be playing out. Because the thing is, the reason the present day story happened was because there was shit happening in the present day. That's the whole reason that I call it parallel storytelling happened. Yeah, I'm getting tired, park it, yada yada. Okay. I don't know if I did this specific heavy mission before, but
This is where it ends.
I hope I get progress on this cargo, because I haven't done it. Alright, let's see if I screw up this entrance. Weirdly, I did not. Let's see if the, oh yeah, this is the one where the, oh, trailer damage 32%. This is the one where the vehicle out on the road crashed while I was parking. And was like, oh, you have to redo your last 3 feet of parking again because the dude crashed. I'm like, why did he crash? I technically got here and everything. Whoop, I pressed the wrong button. I don't know what button that was. The bigger the better, 5 of 11. I got credit for that cargo and that trip. Oh man, look at that negative monies. Experience points. Oh, hey, I leveled up. Cool. Well, I don't think anybody's actually here in the chat right now. Not that I don't know. You might be there and you might be quiet and Twitch might be displaying it wrong. So, I'm going to go with the thought that you are there. And on that case, I'm going to make a new poll. Which upgrade am I going for? I believe every option except for distance is open, so we're going to go with timely, fragility, value, fuel, or hazardous. I'm going to make a quick glance back at the main game, and yes, I haven't maxed out high value just yet. So, 3 minutes to vote. But for everybody who is watching later on YouTube, well, I hope you were entertained by everything that just happened. And if you join me live on stream, you can also vote on what upgrades I'll be taking for the characters. Or any other things. Twitch.tv/HunterMun, and you can check the schedule there. Or you can come to the Discord, all that good stuff. So, on that note, for everybody who is watching later on YouTube, I thank you for watching. I thank people on the VOD for watching, and I thank everybody who was here actually watching, quietly watching. I've been HunterMun, this was Euro Truck Simulator 2, and I will see you in the future.